It all started when I taught my first psychology class. I fell in love with the classroom. I mean, madly in love with being in the classroom. And I loved what I did before. I loved the work I did, but being in the classroom is just like heaven for me.
I started at GVSU in aeronautical engineering and couldn't stand sitting and being that type of student. Dropped out after the first year and found the culinary program. Just saw it in the paper, saw that they were doing great things, said, you know what, I like to cook, and that was where it started.
When I went to community college back in 1996, I had no choice but to make a life-changing decision in thinking that I might not ever be that athlete that would turn pro. I really learned the value of a college education right here at Grand Rapids Community College.
Actually, I started adjuncting about 6 years ago, and I was at a point within Honeywell that with my retirement, I could leave pretty much at any time I wanted to, and I was fortunate enough that there was an opening here, and became a full-time instructor here.
I think I decided in first grade I wanted to be a teacher, and my thoughts haven't wavered, ever.
In all honesty, probably one of the things that helped prepare me the most is when I was an RA back in my undergrad days. We used to all meet in the common room and we would order pizza, and I would help the rest of the floor build their schedules because I just kind of thought that was fun. It was like a big giant puzzle to me. You know, that's kind of the thing that when I had this opportunity to move into advising, it was like, yeah, I really liked that. I was good at that.
I always enjoyed teaching, and I was, in every position I had, I started teaching. Finally decided to change careers, went through the downsizing in the plant, and decided to teach full-time.
I was born and raised in Grand Rapids, went to Grand Valley, and from there I landed a teaching job for Muskegon Public Schools. During that time I started doing some adjunct teaching at Grand Valley and realized that I actually liked teaching older students rather than younger students, and it led me here, and I love it. The English department is definitely the largest and the best department on campus. I love working with everyone in the department. We're all very passionate about what we do, and it definitely shows up in the classroom.
I would stack up our program to any community college or university in the state of Michigan. I'm pushing the students. They're whining a little bit, but I think if you set the bar high and you have energy, I see that the department and the program is just going to explode.
We like to be the center of the attention, and we push each other very hard, the program and the faculty, the staff. I mean, I think that we thrive on being the best and try to do so. And we're also under heavy competition with the culinary colleges around the country. And so we have to stay on our game.
Students like being in my class. I don't know if I should say that on film here, but I really feel good about the students and the connections that I make. I feel like I can teach anybody math as long as I can form a relationship with them and win them over to thinking that math isn't so bad after all, and it is a subject area that they can be successful.
I get a lot of positive comments. Some students say it changed their lives, that it felt like the sun coming out on their life.
I really kind of had a passion for, or have a passion for what I'm doing right now, teaching. I really get a lot of enjoyment from it. When the students come up to you and say, hey, you know, I got this job because of your class you taught, you know, the things that you taught me, you know, it's really gratifying.
I like being able to see students, you know, I still get the grumpy, angry students, but I have the happy, you know, I got into U of M. I had one of those yesterday. And he came in and he's like, I got in, I finally got in. I want that balance between, you know, the administrative piece and the students, and I want the balance between the students that are doing well and the students that are struggling. I like all ends of the spectrum, and I like having that variety.
Well, for me, it's always been the connection. You know, I always wanted to reconnect with the young people in the inner city, where other institutions would say no. Grand Rapids Community College will say yes, give you the opportunity to transform as a student who used to accept C's and D's and be good with it. Now to give you the opportunity to be excellent. I mean, I think Grand Rapids Community College is excellence.
The academic world and the industrial world have some major differences. One of them is in the industrial world, the main goal is to get it done. And we can program robots, we can program automation, we can use mechatronics. But in the academic world, we have this unique thing called the student. And students, they care. I think for the most part, they care a lot. But they also have a life, so they have to balance time pressures.
The nature of the students here are pretty phenomenal. I mean, that is why I wound up staying. I mean, I've done a lot of training, a lot of corporate training, a lot of on-the-ground training in a restaurant, but when I got in that classroom and was able to relate to them and see their passion and what they were learning and applying it, and that's what hooked me, and it was all the interaction with the students.
I think the GRCC student is very different and much more complex. And so you have to have a lot of discussions with them about how to make the best choices for them at any given time. And some of them have a hard time trying to slow down. You know, I think all of us up in the Counseling and Career Centers say it on a regular basis. Your education isn't a race. You know, it's not, you don't win a prize for getting done first. It's about doing it right and doing what's good for you.
I think the biggest thing and the biggest challenge is to remember that our students are people first. They have needs, they go through different situations, they have different issues, and just being patient and understanding that is a huge component, whether you're teaching little kids or older students.
They're not statistics, they're people who all, like each of us, have more behind us than meets the eye. And they all really want to be here and succeed. They want to be great college students.
I talk to my students, I think the first day of class, I always introduce myself and kind of show them my path, you know, how I got to where I am today. And I often relate, you know, I was in the same spot you were so many years ago, and I understand that, you know, I was a working adult when I was there. I take that into consideration.
I want them to know that even an inner city dude like me, I mean, that individuals told me I could never achieve anything. You could do the same things that I've done. You know, I'm the guy that had my water shut off. I'm the guy that was threatening to lose his house to foreclosure. You know, I mean, that's my life story. So don't let those serve as excuses for your lack of success. Use them as fuel to kind of help get you there.
You know, I don't really think I understood that until I actually started teaching here, how much the college, you know, gives to the community around, how much they're involved, you know, how much we gear our classes, and, you know, just basically how we're structured so we serve our community, which is, you know, which is what we should be.
This community college, GRCC, is different than when I was a student here.
It actually feels like a big college feel, you know. I think there's no shame in being a community college student. I think that all of the students that are, you know, in our immediate community feels that way.
This job is not the same job I trained for 3 years ago. It is a moving target now. I really do enjoy it. Sometimes it feels a little much, but every time you get past a hurdle of this change and the moving target and you actually hit it and then go on, that's pretty satisfying.
I love GRCC. I just love how open and welcoming GRCC is. And I think that's what makes GRCC so special. Everybody is welcome.